You're watching Dueling Couches Sofa Talk right now. Hello and welcome to Dueling Couches Sofa Talk, presented by Dueling Couches, filmed by Sea Level Productions. I'm your host, Scott Beer. I'm going to come here every single week, every single Tuesday, let you know what happened the week past and let you know what's coming up in the week present. Started off, today we're going to talk about the little switch that the Cleveland Browns are making, Romeo Crennel. He's got Brady Quinn. The era is beginning. Derek Anderson is out as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Derek Anderson, let's face it, you were a Pro Bowler last year. They probably should stick with you. But with the Browns' record being 3-5 and your QB rating being 68.9, I mean, the Browns maybe a step away from making the playoffs last year. You had to step it up and bring them there this year. Well, your 9 touchdowns and 7 interceptions isn't going to cut it, and a 49.8 completion percentage definitely is not going to do it. Moving right along, it's a quick show. We got to try and fit everything in a little bit. Well, the Knicks, Marbury, end of the bench. Not exactly what they were looking forward to at the beginning of this season. Marbury, going? Nowhere. Let's see. D'Antoni wants him waived. Donnie Walsh says, hey, Marbury, what can I say? We're paying you $21 million. You're going to sit at the end of the bench. Marbury, standing his ground. He's doing the right thing. Kind of have to feel bad for him, but I agree with Donnie Walsh. Listen, Marbury, you're an expiring contract. Either shut up, sit at the end of the bench, or maybe you can do what you're trying to do and go to the players' union. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be able to help you. They're paying you to sit at the end of the bench. Deal with it. To give you a little bit more perspective on what we're talking about here, I'm going to kick it over to our good friend and co-head of DuelingCouches.com, Dave Pierce. Dave, rant for me, brother.
Another day, another way the Knicks disappoint me. Today's wild thing is how they are not going to trade, cut, or buy out Stephon Marbury's contract, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. We are talking a guy who's been an all-star throughout his career and he's been a shoot first, pass second point guard, but still has been a solid player. Up until the Larry Brown then Isaiah days, he was averaging 20 points, or around 20 points, and 9 assists per game. And now they're going to show him this disrespect. This is unbelievable that the Knicks would pull something off like this. The guy just wants to play basketball. Look at what he does for the community with his shoes, selling them for $15 to inner city kids who can't afford your LeBron James sneakers or your Dwayne Wade sneakers. This guy isn't that bad of a guy, and the Knicks are just going to throw him under the bus and make him look like a villain. Another thing that's pissed me off today is the fact that Antonio McDyess, even though he gets traded to the Denver Nuggets in the Allen Iverson deal, they're going to buy him out and he goes back to the Pistons. I know the Celtics did this a couple of years ago with Gary Payton, but the NBA specifically made a rule so that can't happen. How is this not cheating? I just don't understand it. If anything, though, this does help out the Celtics because it doesn't give Jason Maxwell or Amir Johnson the burn that they need to produce and to be productive and to grow as players. So if anything, it hurts the Pistons more than helping them. And my final thing that I will say today is that Jack Nicholson was a better Joker than Heath Ledger. And that's all I got for you.
Dave Pierce, always a character, always knows what he's talking about. I don't know. You can look forward to Dave Pierce's weekly rant right here on Sofa Talk every Tuesday. He'll always have something exciting to say. A little bit more exciting than me. I'm sorry, but first show, we'll see what happens. We're going to send it to the second half of the show where we are going to tell you about the week coming up. And I personally love the NFL, so we're going to kick it over to the NFL for a little while. And started off with the fact that ESPN has it as 9 even lines. 9 even lines this week. If that doesn't say enough about the NFL, then I don't know. There is so much wide openness in the NFL. it's up for grabs. It's completely up for grabs. So let's start it off with a couple of the games that I've highlighted this week. Starting off with Tennessee and the Bears. Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite at Chicago this week. You got Tennessee, who is unbeaten, and they're playing the Bears with Kyle Orton, who just went down with a knee injury. Who knows how long he's going to be out? They said at least a couple months. But that means my boy, number 8, Rex Grossman from Florida, at the helm. And let me tell you, Rex Grossman has an arm like a sniper rifle, and he has a mind like a velociraptor. He is an ideal quarterback. Everyone needs to stop worrying about the fact that, he'll win a game here, he'll win a game there. Rex Grossman, come on, be the man. Next up, you got the New York Jets at home, even against the St. Louis Rams. Now, let me tell you something that really interests me about this game. The Jets just came off a big win to Buffalo. Buffalo, a divisional opponent. Jets are now in first place in their division in the AFC East. How you could be even against the St. Louis Rams, a St. Louis Rams team that has Steven Jackson and a career winding down Torrey Holt, Mark Bulger, who has a game here and there just like Rex Grossman does, and they're even. Well, I'm going to take Brett Favre. I'll take Brett Favre every single time. If you don't like Brett Favre, you're not American. Next, we're going to go to at New England, even against Buffalo. Buffalo, a team that just came off a loss to the New York Jets. Buffalo, a team that couldn't run against the New York Jets. And you got New England with Matt Castle, looking better and better each week. Randy Moss finally getting into his groove because him and Matt Castle are on the same page. New England, I got nothing else to tell you besides never, ever get rid of Kevin Falk. If you get rid of Kevin Falk, that'll be the end of your dynasty. Next, we got at Pittsburgh, even against Indy. Last night, Pittsburgh completely dominated the Redskins, which means congratulations, Barack Obama, you're going to win the election today, November 4th. I'll tell you what I do not like about this game. What I do not like about this game is the fact that Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning are not on the same page still. Pittsburgh just had Ben Roethlisberger injured. This is going to be quite possibly our game of the week. Last but not least, for our NFL games this week, you got the Giants at Philadelphia. The Giants are the favorite by 1.5. The Giants, let's be real, you're 7-1. You're on top of the NFL. I know that some people may argue that the Titans, because they're undefeated, are a better team. I personally think the Giants are the better team. You may say that I'm biased. I'm from New York. I'm a Giant fan. So be it. But I think the Giants, when they're running on all cylinders, are the better team. Let's face it, Kerry Collins up against that Giants defense, he's not going to be able to go anywhere. He's slower than I am. That's pathetic. And come on now. You got Kiwanuka, you got Justin Tuck, and let me get straight on Justin Tuck. That was not a penalty. And if you didn't see that play, I would look it up, because this is pathetic what the NFL is doing with these penalties. How is Justin Tuck supposed to be called for a sack when they say, listen, Justin Tuck, you put all of your body weight into it? That's what the referee said. Look it up. It's true. Not a sack. The NFL should find themselves for a terrible call. So every week, DuelingCouches.com is going to present you with what to watch, who to watch weekly right here on Sofa Talk. And this week we came up with who to watch. We got Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. Who we're going to be watching is Oklahoma State because they play the fate for a lot of these BCS teams. It is unfair that there is not a playoff, and this is the perfect example of what we're talking about this year, even though every single year is a perfect example of why there should be a playoff. Florida, Texas, USC, these teams praying that Oklahoma State can do this. Now, what will the computers think? They'll probably put Oklahoma State above them somehow. It won't make any sense. Texas Tech, I still do not believe in you. No matter what, I won't believe in you. You're the Red Raiders. Bob Knight should probably coach your football team. What to watch? That's going to be Recount, the HBO special. I know that today is election day, but after today, everything's going to be over. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do, all those political fans out there who see it as a sport? Well, today is your political Super Bowl. And after today, I recommend going and renting HBO's Recount. You've been watching Dueling Couches Sofa Talk. Have a nice day and Sofa Talk.